नमस्कार दर्शक मित्रों, स्पिरिचुअल लाइव तो मंडे होता है, मगर आज हम बहुत सुंदर बात कम्युनिटी और कम्युनिटी की सेफ्टी के लिए करने जा रहे हैं, जिसके अंदर कई बार बातें होती है। हम देश विदेश, अपने गांव के बाहर सब देखते हैं कि देयर इज मैनी इंसिडेंट्स हैपनिंग एंड मैनी कम्युनिटी हैव अ क्वेश्चन व्हाट टू डू, हाउ टू डू. There is two main questions, which is many people, they think they are suffering, but the community working very hard to support the community people. Police is working very hard to support the community. So the both way is like two hand together, they are working. बात कई बार ये भी हो जाती है कि जीवन के अंदर दुख आता है मगर सुख भी होता है. There is a darkness, there is also light as well. So दोनों चीज से हमको stay for the 24 hours, so there is a day as well. So always remember, there is a sadness, there is a happiness. There is happiness, there is sadness. That is a life which is, we should accept it. We have very great privilege. We have two personality in this live program. One is Councillor Kanti Rabade, who is from the Harrow Council, and one from the Metropolitan Police Harrow, Tanya, Inspector Tanya. The both which is talking about the safety, the both is talking about the community, the both is talking about how we can work together, how we can support shoulder to shoulder, and we find the solution for the happiness. So Tanya, thank you very much for coming, for your valuable time, and also I can see there is a lot of appointments and a lot of meetings, and you have to attend and you have to concern about the community. So thank you very much. Yes. Tanya, there is you can see the news and everywhere in the community, there's a lot of things happening at the moment, and the community is concerned how the police will support us.
Yes.
So if you can guide us what to do.
Of course, and obviously there's many different strands around that. My role within the Metropolitan Police is the neighbourhood inspector. So I'm in charge of the neighbourhood policing that goes on in Harrow. Harrow is very dear to me. I'm a resident of Harrow. I live in Harrow. My family are at Harrow. My friends are at Harrow. So it's very, very key for me to make sure that people feel safe within the borough of Harrow.
Right.
So to do that, the Metropolitan Police has launched many, many schemes at the moment. We've just finished something called Autumn Nights, which is our anti-burglary campaign. And we're just moving into a new phase now called Operation Winter Nights, which is very similar. It's about how we try and give that crime prevention, that advice to the community around how to keep their properties safe and how to keep themselves safe as well. And that's our most prominent time, really. Obviously, with the nights joining, gets darker a lot earlier, there's more opportunity for burglars, for crime to occur, and this is why we always historically have Operation Autumn Nights and Winter Nights.
Very good. So that kind of support which is we can get in very confident way, we can say, is supporting, because I can give my own experience regarding about the Harrow Willstone.
Right.
A few months ago, there's a lot of things, gang problems, and there's a fighting, so the community was scared how we can go to the place of worship, how we can go to the temple. And the elderly people, because they're coming from the buses and everything, they think so when we walk, there is many gang people around.
Yes.
So they're scared.
Yes.
But with your hard work, Harrow Willstone is getting better and better.
It is. It's the hard work of a lot of people that we've all come together, and I think that's really important, particularly in this day and age, where everyone is feeling the budget cut, resourcing. We have to be very clear on who is the owner of each strand, and that's very important. September we had a public meeting in the Wealdstone area. It was alongside myself, the Borough Commander Simon Rose, and the council, Alex Dewsnap, as well. So it's quite a high-profile meeting. I walked the streets before. I wanted to experience what the community were experiencing, and I have to say I was horrified, absolutely horrified, that there was drug dealing, there was street drinkers, I didn't feel safe, and I'm a police officer, and that really made me want to make such a difference. And we spoke to the community with what they want, and this is an ongoing problem. Yes, I'm so pleased that you have seen a difference, and that makes me feel comforted to know that we have put a lot of resource in it.
Yes.
And we're working for longer term now. We're looking at how we can get the churches, the community involved, more, you know, the licensing, the shops, regarding the drug dealers, how we can hit them hard or offer them support. All those aspects which are very important to us.
Very good. Councillor Kantibai, thank you very much for coming. As we discussing about the community and safety with the Inspector Tania. As a councillor and as a representing Harrow Council, what do you think and what need to be done?
Essentially, I think Inspector echoed a lot of things that we generally kind of believe in, working together. That's the key word, I think, in terms of you know, the communities, councillors, police. We are quite privileged that there is a sort of lot of shared meetings at the community level. We've had police, especially in the wards that I kind of work around or represent in Harrow. We've always had good police officers on the beat, so they're quite knowledgeable and aware of what's happening in the local area. We've also sort of at a sort of command level, we've had regular events where held at, you know, community centres like temples, where issues are discussed, components are discussed. From those discussions, you know, how resources are spent or where, you know, a sort of patrol is required, especially on occasion days like Diwali, and we get a lot of support from the police. And I think that's highly commendable. And always there is room for saying there's probably more we can do in terms of, you know, your mention about current events. So it's quite possible that there is probably still a few more areas where we can work together with the police. But at the moment, as things stand, we are quite sort of pleased that we're getting a lot of support from the police, always when we need them. And it's a matter of continuing that partnership as we go along.
Councillor, as you know, there is a lot of thing going on around the place of worship.
Sure.
People, they think what to do. And in the news, many presidents and chairmen, and they're calling and they're thinking about how we can support the community to come to the temples and place of worship, because recently there is a happening about the burglars, and they do the, even the last week, someone asking me, he said, Guruji, because of the many temples have a kind of negativities, that's the reason the people come. I said, no, there is a negativity created by themselves with the created bad karmas, which is you do something wrong in the temples or place of worship, we are creating bad karmas. So what do you think about that? And how we can support as a being a Hindu and being a, you also involved with the many temples to support the temples. Also myself, I'm running the one temple. So I was thinking how we can encourage our people to get the most support.
Firstly, I must say, yes, there is a lot of news coverage at the moment about temples. Not the best of situations to be getting coverage for, but essentially, I don't think there is a need to panic.
Right.
Of course, there is concern for all communities when incidents happen, and you know, when more than one happens, there is concern, of course. But I still say temples are still safe. We've got good sort of support from the police, the local community, councils. Things are ongoing. Yes, this gives us an opportunity to sort of address any shortcomings, which the police are quite happy to help with. I generally see, you know, in my sort of role as a councillor, and I do happen to visit a lot of places of worship, they're fantastic places for communities to be at. We have a lot of people coming in, you know, throughout the week, a lot of activities happening. Nothing has stopped, so we're still open. And, you know, we need to carry on with that in terms of the support side of things. As I mentioned before, we already have initiatives in place. This probably gives us an opportunity to sit down with the police again, and which I'm sure it's going to happen with, you know, various community leaders, temples, other places of worship. Is there anything we can actually review? Yes, And I don't think we should actively be encouraging a general feeling of fear, because I don't think it exists personally. There are sort of sporadic incidents now and then. Yes, can we eliminate them completely? We don't know the answer, but we can definitely work together with the police, with community leaders, and the public at large.
Yes.
In terms of saying, you know, can we minimize risk in certain respects? So we can definitely work with that. But to believe that there is a sort of fear out there and, you know, temples are under siege, that's completely sort of the wrong line of thinking and completely incorrect. I think you can more or less, you know, visit any temple in, you know, Harrow, Brent, Ealing, you know, wherever your nearest temple is, or anywhere in the country.
Yes.
I think it's still a fantastic, positive place to be in it. And if someone feels like that, it is quite unfortunate.
Councillor, is good thoughts and good comment for the community, what you are saying. But I believe the temple, the committee, presidents, chairman, and more responsibility the priest or the leader of the temple have a more responsibility to look after the community in positive manner.
Sure.
There's one question during your discussion, the inspector, many temples and places of worship, there might be the people, they don't know how to communicate with the police or the local sergeant or local neighborhood. What do you say?
Yes, I think this is really important. Neighbourhood policing has been going on for many, many years now, but I still don't feel that the public know what that actually means. And they see a police officer in uniform, absolutely. But there's lots of strands, as I said, within the police. You have your, we call emergency response term. They are your first responders. They respond to 999 calls and some 101 calls. So if you need help, absolutely, they're the ones who come out to you. But then every council ward has a designated, 2 designated ward officers. They're called DWOs, designated ward officers. And they're your community points of contact. They'll deal with the longer term problem-solving solutions. For example, the Wheelstone problem, the drug dealing that was going on there, the street drinking, etc. That's more community-led. It's not fast time. We can look at it holistically and then come up with some innovative ways of dealing with them. To get into contact with your community police, I mean, firstly, obviously, if it's an emergency, you call 999 without a doubt. If you've got your car broken into, you can now report things on the website, but you can call 101. You can also call 101 to find out who your local police are, your neighbourhood police are. You can also look on the Metropolitan Police website. And if you look under neighbourhood policing, you can type in your postcode, either your personal postcode or Temple's postcode, and that will tell you the council ward that you're on, and it will give you the name of the inspector, the sergeant, and the designated ward officers for your area. Okay. It will give you an email address, and you can email them, and they will get back to you. They're not on duty all the time. It may take a couple of days for them to get back to you, but they will get back to you.
Very good. I have one idea, even councillor, I don't know, you agree or not, as a police chapel.
Yes.
What I was thinking, with the police support and with the council, what we can make once, if we can go together and visit temples or trustees or committees or different places, because there is many temples in Harrow, and now the merging Brand Council and Barnet, the police. Right. So the 3 boroughs is responsible, which is we have to look after in positive manner. What do you think about that?
I think it's a fine idea. I think anything working together. Yeah. And the more we work together, the more we identify different ways of dealing with situations and coming up with different solutions. I think it's a very good idea. What do you
think? In essence, as we have got a new sort of arrangement with policing with the tri-borough setup, so obviously we have to do that because that's the only way we'll find out. Because
so in that way, they know each other. They will know each other.
Yes.
That's a big change already.
Yes.
And we can always build on the fact that we have been doing that sort of kind of interaction through various sort of events and setups. And sometimes the police approach us to say, you know, they would like to sort of have a stall at, you know, on an open day, on a sports day, on a fun day. So that's always been happening, and sort of, and that is more productive. Because essentially, police feel that the public feel police are approachable.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're in an informal event.
Yeah, they know each other.
Rather than sitting around the table, essentially. So
Yes.
It's getting that feeling
Yes.
of sort of, you know, you're approachable.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes.
And you've done that very well, so I think long may continue. But yes, I think we are at a sort of a new beginning, a transition, and it is definitely going to be useful in terms of, you know, the events of the moment.
Yeah.
And moving forward, that we essentially have more interaction.
Yes.
Understand more sort of, you know, where the gaps are going to be. And, you know, the sooner we arrange that, the better. And yes, definitely something that
Yes.
I'll definitely say is going to help. And just to add to what Inspector said about the local policing and support, and where do people go if they have a question? Yes, there's various angles to this. I have seen quite in a lot of streets in our wards in Harrow that one street will have a sort of their own association set up informally. They meet up regularly, they discuss issues bothering them, and some of their chairperson or the secretary.
Like a neighbourhood watch scheme or a champion scheme.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could have whatever title you wanted
yes,
to give.
of course. It has many different titles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we have found this very useful in terms of people being able to report and feedback and not be lost, who do I call? You know, there is great support. And I think we should actively be encouraging that kind of setup, you know, from the position of the police and probably the council. And, you know, that's the best way for people not to feel that there's nowhere to go.
Yes.
And definitely sort of, you know, something we need to encourage.
And the way we communicate with people, because there's lots of different ways we can communicate with people.
Yes.
We have street briefings, we have public open meetings. I'm very keen to have a coffee with a copper, you know, or tea, whatever your preference is.
Sure.
Those sorts of things are really important. It's how we get our information. People will speak to us, they'll see us and say, do you know, by the way, I saw something really odd happen the other day. Well, you know, sometimes people are a little bit scared to pick up the phone, to call 101, to say, I feel a bit silly about doing that. Police officers are naturally suspicious, and I would say that if a member of the community is suspicious about something, you must let us know. In all aspects, whether it's you're suspicious because of burglary, or antisocial behaviour, or counter-terrorism, call us or speak to us and join us. I can't say enough, join us on these street briefings, our open days. On the website, we advertise when we have those street briefings or coffee mornings or events that we hold regularly. And working with the councillors as well is really key to that. So, yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a good idea to chain each other and found very close working between the community, also the trustees and priests and everything. As per from the last 8 years, we are running the police surgery at our Siddhashram temple, home office surgery and fire brigade surgery. If the people, they are afraid to go to the police station, they don't know how to talk, we make sure we take not, sometimes we call the police then and there, and we'll support them. I think so in that way, we will more and more supporting the community.
Yes.
And during the Christmas, or I don't know, the diaries of the old temples, we should start something to support each other.
Yes.
Going
Absolutely.
and visit.
Yes, sure.
And I think there's lots of things that we can do to do that. And again, if we come together and the community come together, and if your community, you know, has any ideas and suggestions around that, we're always open to talk to them, to speak to them, to see these suggestions through. We police by consent. We police because the community wants us there. And we need the community, we need everyone to help us police as well.
I believe each temple have a 5 or 10 people who can join with the police special service. And that officer, they will support to the own temple during the service.
Yes.
Councillor?
Yes, there's always some sort of a liaison team with the police. That's always been in place. And in terms of, I'm not really sure whether you meant actual recruitment. I think, yes, you've had
you
a
look
really...
good on in a uniform.
I'm not allowed to be a police officer. But I think you've had a really positive impact in terms of even sort of, you know, looking at that element of recruitment. Because I have seen, you know, great presence, you know, 1 car, 2 police cars, a few officers, actually interacting with the public and, you know, specifically talking about how people can join. And of course, there's no better way than to sort of saying that when the community are part of the police force as well, there is always comes a better understanding, a better overview, which also, you know, when you have your internal meetings, some of the issues might sort of, be explained better.
Yes.
In case you just missed them with the instructions and your sort of, your normal patrols. So essentially, I think we are all for that there has to be, better sort of liaison or more regular sort of method of contact and sort of, in exchanging information and our experiences. It can only improve, what great service you already provide. And in terms of moving forward, yes, you mentioned about dedicated ward officers and so on. So we're not exactly sure how that's going to work in the future, whether we'll have them also. I think more the reason that then, how do we fill in those gaps?
Yes, well, we've always had the designated ward officers to a certain extent. We've had officers on neighbourhoods for many, many years. Part of MOPAC, Mayor's policing plan, is that we will have 2 designated ward officers per council ward, which has happened and is happening now. So they're out there, but as I said, they don't work every day or all the time. And the best way to contact them is via email or 101, looking on the website. I'm very keen for the public to know that they have got those officers there. They are, if you have a problem within the community, be it neighbour dispute, be it suspicious happenings, be it antisocial behaviour, burglary advice, contact them. They want you to contact them. They want you to be at their street briefings. They want a big audience so that they can tell you, this is how you can keep safe, and this is what you can do for us, and this is what we can do for you. It's really important.
देखो बात ये चल रही थी कि दोनों ऑफिसर और कम्युनिटी के बीच में हम ये चर्चा कर रहे थे कि हर जो मंदिर है, जो धर्म के स्थान है, उस धर्म के स्थानों पे अपने आप में समाज को एक होना बहुत ज़रूरी है। जितने भी लोग हमारे चेयरमैन हो, ट्रस्टीज़ हो, प्रीस्ट हो, कोई भी हो, तो मेरा मानना ये है कि कम से कम साथ में रह कर के, चाहे वो टेम्पल हैरो में हो, चाहे वो टेम्पल हेज में हो, चाहे वो टेम्पल वैमली में हो, if they need support, please contact each other. Don't think, oh, this temple for them and this temple is mine. No. If there is a place of worship, God is one. And you believe the people, doesn't matter, all the family have a different taste of living. All the temple have a different taste of running the temple. But the main agenda to serve the community for peace and harmony. For that purpose, we need to be together. And when we are to be together, I don't think so the other people can break us. So first, learning the lesson from the darkness to come out in the light, we need to learn ourselves how to be served to the community. Police, councillors, politicians, all there to support, but we have to support ourselves as a part of family. If you believe the temple is part of our life, if you believe the place of worship is part of our life, I don't think so there will be issue. And there is an issue which is always said, the problem is a part of life, but come out from the problem, that is art of life. And there is art we have to create ourselves. So we have a very great personality, the both, which is one from the Metropolitan Police and one from the Council. The both we are discussing with the own experience how we can support. So the councillor, what we was talking and the inspector, I think so you people have the positive impact which is you put for the community. And as my responsibility to bring you to us together for, not for ourselves, for the community.
Yes.
Do you have any special message you want to give to the community?
I would like them to think about how they can keep themselves safe. I would like them to, review how they respond to us. I want to embrace them and I want them to embrace us. So if there is things going on that we are advertising, for them to come along and to support us, because we will give them information about how to keep yourself safe, how to keep your property safe, how to keep your family safe, things to watch out for. And they can be our eyes and ears, which I think is really, really important. We're not at every corner. I would love there to be a police officer at every corner. That hasn't ever happened, and it's unlikely to ever happen. But the community They're at every corner. If they see something, they hear something that they feel is just not right, contact us. We will make a report of it in some way, shape and form. And we can build up a picture and we can decide whether or not it's important. It's important for us to get that information because by doing that and working together and supporting together, we can change an awful lot. And we can continue to make, certainly from my point of view, Harrow still the safest borough in London.
That is already in the news and already is in the computer, the safest borough in Harrow.
Absolutely, and I want it to remain that way. I'm very keen for it. As I said, I'm a resident there, my family are there, my friends are there. Why wouldn't I want that?
Councillor?
Yes, thank you. I greatly echo what inspectors just said. I fully support that. Yes, there is a sort of this great belief Harrow is the safest borough. We should like to keep it that way.
Yes.
And hopefully even with the sort of new arrangements, that doesn't sort of slip up. So we have to make sure of that. And as we said just right at the beginning, it's just sending out a positive message, irrespective of what you hear, what people are saying. Temples are still very safe. They're not only places of worship, they're sort of a great community hub, not just for the temple goers, the residents nearby, the neighborhoods, other temples, the police, and everyone who sort of cares for us. We are part of that community, and we would like to keep it that way. And where we can sort of, learn from our experiences, we definitely need to sort of, fast track the communications, the meetings, just to see where else we can, improve things generally. But I am very, very glad that, we've had great support always from the police. They've always been there for, for temples, for communities, in Harrow generally, which I can sort of, talk about our experiences. It has been fantastic, and I can only say long it may continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Inspector, thank you for coming. And
very welcome.
We look forward to work together.
Absolutely.
Which is always we do.
Yes, we do anyway, but
continue.
Absolutely.
बात कई बार जीवन में हो जाती है, अच्छे लोग मिलना बहुत कम होता है. We can find hundreds of friends, but we found very good friend is like a one or two. आप जीवन में बहुत कुछ प्राप्त कर लेते हो, मगर अच्छे लोग और अच्छे दोस्त मिलना बहुत जरूरी है. The community is very important. Family is very important. When there is a family together, the community together. When there is a community together, there's a place of worship will be safe. और मैं सबको यही कहूँगा इस कार्यक्रम के अनुसार, ये आज के प्रोग्राम के अनुसार, be together. Everything will be positive. Everything will be possible. And to be possible, you have to be positive. Thoughts, work, and whatever you do. जीवन बहुत छोटा है, छोटे जीवन में बहुत कुछ काम करना है, और बहुत कुछ काम करते करते हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. सभी को, सभी मंदिर वाले को और जितने भी ये देख रहे हैं, उनको आपके लोकल पुलिस ऑफिसरों को मिले, आपके लोकल मंदिरों को मिले. Contact the local police officers, contact the local temple, be together, be successful. Hari Om, Shanti, Shanti.